Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Roy, and today I want to talk to you about how to do lightning talks. We're going to do it as a lightning talk, just as an exercise. Um, Now, the reason that I'm doing this talk is because one of the best experiences that I've ever had in front of a crowd was during such talk. And it was maybe 2007. I was in a conference called TechEd. You might know it. It's a small place
Yeah.
somewhere in Europe. And I was doing a talk about regular expressions. It was my first talk ever at TechEd, and I was there as an MVP. And I wanted to do something that was really special. I wanted it. I only had one talk, and someone just gave me a chance. I said, I don't want to be forgotten after this. And I said, okay, what else do I like to do? And I came up with the idea that I'll have a guitar at the talk. Maybe 2005 now that I think about it. And I said, okay, I'll do a little silly song because what do I have to lose? I'll create a song about regular expressions and I'll do it at the end of the talk. So I did my talk, and at the end of the talk, I sat down and said, okay, now we'll do a little song. And it was one of the scariest moments ever for me to ever do that kind of stuff. No one has ever done that on a TechEd before, and everyone looked at me when I said, I'm going to bring a guitar on stage, said, oh, you're kind of crazy. But it's probably your last time here, so you might as well do it. And I said, okay, screw it. What do I have to lose? Either way, they're going to remember me. So I brought a guitar and we did the song, and everyone was clapping like crazy. It was so funny. And the song was Every Build You Break by Sting. And I remember that feeling of joy when people really started laughing from it. And I said, okay, now this is awesome. And from that moment on, for all the big talks that I do, I like to bring a guitar on stage and just have that. And that's kind of my mark. That's like a unique tell sign that I have. And I think this is one of the things that I want you to take away from is that no matter which talk you have, no matter how long that talk is going to be, you have to have a unique sign, something that makes you different from everyone else. And I know that if I'm doing this in the Nordic countries, there is a special rule called Jantelove, which says never think you're different than anyone else or you're better than anyone else. But that's the opposite. The opposite should be true when you do public speaking. When you do public speaking, you should have a persona, something that signifies you, that people will remember. Like, oh, you're the guy with the guitar. People still remember me 10 years after as the guy with the guitar, and they don't even remember what I spoke about. So you have to have something. You don't have to go crazy, but you have to be a little different, either with your style of speaking or anything, with your approach to how you do things. Some people have different slides. Some people don't use slides. Some people have hundreds of slides where they go through ta 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 ta, and it sounds like a bullet shooting out of their mouth, and it's awesome because each one of them has a style and they're comfortable with that style, and they keep changing it up a little bit, but they have a persona. So if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this talk is that you have to be unique. You can't just do another talk about Knockout JS. You have to bring your version of what it means to do Knockout JS so that it will be affiliated with you, with your brand. That's how you create a brand. There are two other things that I want to talk about. First of all, how to approach a talk. If your subject is really, really complicated, you have to focus. You have to choose one thing. If you've been to a course that's a week long course and you have a lot of things that you want to teach, choose one thing. And you have to make a list of maybe one, two, or three things tops that you want the audience to come out with in their head from your talk. And I made this list, a way to approach the talk, focus, and uniqueness. And I want to cover as much of these as possible, but nothing else. And maybe if it's 10 minutes, maybe I'll just choose one of them. So when I approach something, the first thing that I do is that I write down one, two, or three points that the audience just has to have in their head when I finish the talk. The second thing is a story that I start with. It's important to have a story because there should be a reason why you're standing here and talking about something. It could be because you've never done this before and you want to see what it's like. That's also a good story. It has to be real. You cannot fake it. You cannot lie about it because people can tell when you're lying. and you have to have focus, especially in lightning talks. Because in a lightning talk, you have 10 minutes and people need to remember one thing. So it has to be focused. So if you make it too generic, people are just going to say, "Oh, he was funny, but I have no idea what was." It's like a good commercial. You like the commercial, you don't know what the product was. So you have to have a target. You want people to tomorrow start doing something that they haven't done before. That's your target. Choose one action that they want to start with. For me, the action is that when you do lightning talks, you start with the blueprint. What are the one, two, or three things that I have? What's a good story that I want to tell? Thank you very much.